Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm really well. Having a busy day.
Nice.
I've been on recordings with people since 9 this morning. Hi, Bryce.
Wow.
Hi, Suzanne. Um, Thank you, Priyanka, and I'm glad that your son is okay.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, that had to be scary.
It was right in the morning, early 6 a.m., but
Was
it's
he
all good
was he
now.
was he crying because his neck hurt?
Yeah, like he overextended his neck and he was just, yeah, in a lot of pain and crying and screaming. And we thought we had to take him to the ER, but no, walk-in clinic was fine and it worked out. Yeah.
Good, good. Crazy, 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 crazy. He's going to be fine. So, hi, Suzanne. Welcome. Um, So this is our Friday get together where we talk about the Akashic records. And the Akashic records, it's so sweet. I have this class that I teach and it's 3 months long. And I teach people 11 different tools and techniques to prepare them to read the Akashic records. So I have a class with 10 students. And this last Tuesday was the day that you learn to read the Akashic records. And they already have 8 tools that they've learned. So they have learned how to work with energy that's trapped in words, people, places, or things. They have learned how to work with energy that's trapped in the body, physical, spiritual, mental, emotional bodies. They have learned how to measure their clairs and how to open their clairs. They have learned um, how to work with energy that's attached to them in the form of an entity. I love. They have learned how to deal with trauma, and all of them prepares them. All of this prepares them for this journey into the Akashic records. And there's a student that's in class, and he's a masterful hypnotist, trained by Marissa Peer, was one of her proteges. He's extraordinary with the theta realm and the energy and all that. And he does what he calls the reading of energy of people. So we had everybody, the first thing you do when you teach people is you have them go in and they open and read their own Akashic records. And the clearer that your clairs are, your clairvoyance, your claircognizance, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, the clearer those are, the better journey that you have inside of the records. So that you don't come and say, oh, their lips are moving, but I can't hear what they're saying because your audience is blocked, or I can tell there's someone there, but I can't see them because your clairvoyance is blocked, or like whatever it is, you receive downloads through your claircognizance. You are able to feel spirit through your clairsentience. And if your crown chakra, your forehead chakra, your third eye chakra, or your heart chakra are blocked, we teach you how to open up those energy centers. So the homework assignment was for each of them to practice with each other, and they meet during the week and they practice. And he and the girl who practiced with each other, they both came to me, but particularly he did. He was like, "Oh my God, this is incredible." And I'm like, "Why do you think I'm a maniac freak about the Akashic records?" Like they are literally, so if you have a hard time accessing the records, it means your clair's blocked. Yes, exactly. Uh, any specific clair. So if you need to open up your heart, if you need to open up your clairsentience to feel the presence of spirit, you have to work on your heart chakra. If your um, if your clair audience is blocked, it's the chakra that's in the middle of the forehead. If your clairvoyance is blocked, it's the ajna, the third eye chakra. And if your claircognizance is blocked, it's the crown chakra. So, we specifically work in and we go, we measure on a scale, you know, what your number is, like how open it is for you. And then you use the tools that I've taught to open them even wider. And he was like, oh my God, I had no idea what was available in the records. And I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest joys of my life because the Akashic records are the universe's supercomputer, the universe's iCloud of every thought you've ever had, every word you've ever spoken, every action you've ever taken, every sense you've used. Like we receive what is it, 50,000 sensory inputs within a day. All that gets recorded in the Akashic records. And it's not just this lifetime, it's past lives, present or simultaneous existences, and then into the future. You can go anywhere in the records. So in the beginning, I teach you how to go into the past lives, because so much of what we're dealing with as issues in this lifetime has funneled in. And then in the future classes, I teach people how to go into the future. And I teach you how to meet like versions of yourself that exist currently. I had one client, she wanted to make $60 million. So I said, great, let's go to the realm where you can talk to the $60 million version of you. And she met her and she talked to her and she completely changed her business. And now she's making like crazy, crazy, crazy money. She just had a $7 million month. And she went back to teaching in French, which is her native language. She was trying to break into the English market. And her guidance was go back to your beginnings. So much is available for us inside of the records. You can learn about why you have the health conditions that you do, why you have certain relationship issues that you do, why you have certain fears that you do, why there are things you have a lover proclivity for. So my mother says to me one day, how many pair of shoes do you have? And I said 98. And she's like, why do you have so many pair of shoes? And I said, I don't know, I love shoes. And I was recently in Paris, and then we took a trip out to Versailles, and I had this whole past life memory of being Princess Elizabeth, who was the youngest sister of Louis XVI. She was one of the monarchs that was guillotined, during the French Revolution. But when I was reading a book about her, and I remember we walked up to Versailles, and I'm like, I lived up there on the third floor, and you can see the first floor of Versailles, the second, but they keep the third floor private. And they said, no, Princess Elizabeth's room is, not available. So I bought this book about Versailles, and they said that one thing that Princess Elizabeth had was an obsession with shoes, and she had over 200 pair of shoes. And I'm like, yes, now I know where that comes from. Like everything that we have in our life has definitely come from another lifetime, the good and the bad. So you go and you find out, why you have certain predilections, why you have certain addictions, why you have certain fears, why you have certain obsessions, why I hated the smell of tar, and why I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed with my cat. He's been with me through many, many incarnations. And the Akashic records showed me, they're like, oh, he was your kitten Frisky, and he was your cat Phoebe, and now he's back with you, and he's going to live to this age, and he's hanging in there. And he was, this Black Panther that you had when you were in Egypt, and he was this dog that you had. So they'll show you everything. If you have 50% more ownership of something, you can read that. You are not allowed to read someone else's records without their permission. It's like the restricted section. And they aren't going to show you something that you're not ready to handle, like too much light that would literally burn you. But the records have been, in this lifetime, an obsession of mine since I was about 11 years old. My mom had a friend named Kathy Younger, and Kathy lent my mom this book about Edgar Cayce called The Sleeping Prophet, written by Jess Stern. And Edgar Cayce was this very, very well-known psychic. He died in 1970, and he would go deeply into trance, and he would bring forth information from the Akashic records. And I remember reading about this at 11, and the only place at that time to have your Akashic records read was a trip to India, and I wasn't going there. Priyanka hadn't been born yet, so there was no reason to try and go find her yet. She showed up later. By the way, this is Priyanka, one of the great loves of my life. She is my chief operations officer. She has worked with me we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary when we met. I found her online, and I'm keeping her forever. She's just one of the most precious beings in my life. So the journey through the records is extraordinary. It is a chance for you to get to know and to understand yourself in a way that you never thought was possible, to come to have a real appreciation, hi Tess, of who you've been. And, we've been some highborns and we've been some lowborns. We've been some saviors and we've been some murderers and rapists. We've done all of it. And I channel, and one of the beings that I channel is Jesus, or Yeshua, as he likes to be called. And, I've said to him on many occasions, have you done everything I've done? And he's like, I've done what you've done and so much more. He said, I have allowed myself to be everything that the Akashic Records has and is. And I've allowed myself to forgive myself for all of it. And, it's a profound, profound experience of love. When you open the records, they're so happy to see us. So the very first time I open the records, they're jumping up and down, screaming wildly, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti. And I'm terrified out of my mind because I'm like, what the heck? So I close the records and I go to my teacher, Linda Howe, because I had learned to read the records through her. She is a master of the records. And she wrote this book called How to Read the Akashic Records. It's a fabulous book. You know, you learn this prayer. I'd internalized this prayer. And I was like, what's going on? She said, well, obviously they're really excited to see you. She said, why don't you go back in and why don't you ask them, like, what are the halls of Amenti? So I'm like, okay. I'm terrified to go back in because I'm freaked out by them. This was 2017. I go back in and I'm like, hello? And I had Googled and found out that the halls of Amenti is where Thoth had kept the Akashic records in Atlantis, and then it got moved to Egypt. Um, so I say, what's up? And they said, well, you are one of the guardians of the records, and you have a higher self, and her name is Sahaniel, and she is actually the keeper of the records. That is her purpose and mission. And your mission is to teach people about the Akashic records, to have them learn how to read the records and then how to journey within and do healing and find their soul purpose and all that stuff inside of the records. So that's my purpose in life. And I do that in a myriad of ways. I teach people, I guide them. You can buy Linda Howe's book and you can learn the prayer yourself. I do a bit more. I do more to kind of prepare you for the records. Um, I've been doing, I've been fascinated in all things spiritual and mystical since I was 11. But I started my journey of training back in 1989 when I was, gosh, I think 26 or 27 years old as a baby. And now I'm 62 and this is my life's work and I love it more than anything else. So I come on here with Priyanka and a couple times a month we come and we do different things. We teach people how to learn to be able to feel safe with their emotions. We teach a program called SAFE, which stands for Sacred Alignment with Feelings and Emotions. And all this is in my year-long program, my year-long teaching program that I have. And we have standalone classes. So there's lots of ways to be able to work with me. I channel Yeshua. I channel his wife, Mary Magdalene. She is not the story that was told of her in the Bible. In fact, Yeshua says, that is not my book and those are not my buildings. And he's talking about the Bible and the churches. He's like, I'm Jewish. It had nothing to do with Catholicism. Neither, by the way, did Mother Mary. She's also Jewish. I said to one of my Jewish girlfriends, Mother Mary was a Jew. And she was like, what? She was? I thought she was a Catholic. No. And someone said just to me today, oh, Mary Magdalene was promoting the Christian doctrine. And I'm like, no, she wasn't. She was promoting the Essene doctrine, which is what Yeshua was teaching. And if you ever get a chance to read the Essene Gospel of Peace, you'll see it had nothing to do with what Christianity has turned out to be. So I don't mean to be down on Christianity. I was baptized as a Christian and then had my, but I'm 38% Jew and my Kabbalah teachers say that I have a Jewish soul. So there, take that, Christianity. Anyway, I'm just here to talk about the truth and I'm here to bring love. And there's a woman that Priyanka and I work with. Her name is Kat. And she writes these emails with my voice. And I'm like, how did you know that story about me? She said, I pay attention. She said, I've also gone back through all of your TikTok videos and I've watched everything you've ever done. I'm like, there's 2,200 videos. And she said, I've gone through all of them. She makes the short videos of them. And I said, I don't think there's anybody that knows me as well as you. But she writes with my voice and the things that she writes are just gorgeous. So the email that she has prepared for Monday, I literally was in tears and crying when I read it. It was just absolutely beautiful. So Jesus has provided me with this incredible group of people. And then there's Alicia, and Alicia is this little spitfire. So I think the three women that work for me are like 5 foot, 4'10" and 4'8". They're just these little mini compact people because if they were any taller, we would be blinded by their light. And Alicia is the one who helps me do retreats around the world. And a couple of weeks ago, we were like, hey, we're going to do this retreat to Sedona. We have space for 9 people. And now we have 15 people because we have a lot of couples that signed up. We thought we were going to have one person per bed. And then we have people that are like, do you have an extra house? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, we have friends in Sedona and, I'll get a hotel room. So I think there's 16 of us that are 16 clients and then the 4 facilitators. So 20 of us that are about to descend upon Sedona and do our magic there. So there's always things. But all these people have been trained how to read the Akashic records, and it has changed every one of their lives. So what we're going to offer today is if you would like to have your records read and you're willing, so we're simulcasting on Facebook. This is going to go on my YouTube channel, but if you're willing to have your records read, please raise your hand, or you can drop in the chat and say yes. And Bryce, would you be willing to come on camera if you are chosen? Okay. All right. So who gets to choose this is Priyanka. Because when I listed on Facebook, there's a group called Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs. There were 400,000 people in the group at that time. I think she's over 800,000 right now. But I said 4 years ago, I'm looking for a psychic virtual assistant, someone who can know me from the inside. And Priyanka answered, and of the group of people that answered, I think there were like 10 or 11. She answered, and I was like, oh, I felt really drawn to her name. And I said, are you psychic? And she's like, oh, no. And Spirit said to me, yes, she is. And I said, well, what made you answer the ad? And she said, because I know people from the inside out. And I was like, okay, that's really cool. And so she's my little psychic Priyanka. And I love that about her. Hold on, I've got someone messaging me. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Need help to log into YouTube. All right. On a masterclass. This is Raymond asking on a masterclass. All right. Hold on. Oof. So there's this beautiful man named Raymond who lives in Singapore, and he is the one who, let's see, he's the one who logs all my videos. So give me 1 second, everybody. I need to give him some help to log into YouTube. So sometimes the people at YouTube say, is this really you in Singapore? And I say, yes, through my heart, Raymond and I are one. And then I give him access to my YouTube channel. So give me just one moment to try and get him logged in. Sometimes I actually have to go into YouTube and ask for a code. Ask for a code. All right. It's good Lord, it's 2 a.m. for him. He should probably just go to bed. Maybe he'll. All right. Okay, back to the matter at hand. Okay. So Priyanka, who do you have for us today, my love?
It's Suzanne. Suzanne.
Okay. Hey, Suzanne. Suzanne, where are you?
Oh, that's very special. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So can you see me now?
We can see you and hear you.
Okay, great. But this is very special. And somehow I knew.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Here's Raymond. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna say rest well. Okay. Suzanne, where are you located, my love?
In Italy.
Oh my God, how fun. Here's my thing about Italy. I have always said, if I go to Italy, I'm never coming back. Like, come
Yeah.
on. I'm gonna see an Italian. Here's my rule. First there's God, then there's Italian sausage. And I know we're not supposed to eat pork, but I'm negotiating. And then there's Italian men. Like I fall in love with Italian men so easily. It's 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 a thing. Where in Italy are you?
In Tuscany.
Oh my God. Dream come true. Okay. So what is your full legal name, my love?
Susanna. Should I type it somewhere in the
Yeah.
chat?
So the records know us by our full legal names. And women are always like, is that what's on my birth certificate? Only if you haven't married, but it is how you would sign a legal document.
Okay, so also with my married name.
Yeah,
Let's
like
see.
whatever is the legal name for you. Oh, that's such a great book, Tess. I read that book. I read that book when I was doing my yoga teacher training, and it was a 6-month yoga teacher training, and I never wanted that book to end. I loved it. He's talking about the autobiography of a yogi. Okay. So Suzanne Donho, is it Monk?
Yeah,
Monk Mortimer.
Mortier.
Okay.
Mortier. The monk Mortier.
Oh, Mortier.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
sorry.
also say in French, but in
Mortier.
Dutch it's Mortier. Yeah.
Mortier. Mortier. Okay, great. All right. Yeah, because they have me. So I say this prayer, and part of the prayer is aloud, and part of the prayer is silently. And the first time that I go through the prayer, I just say your common name, like Suzanne. And then when I go through it silently, I say the full name. And then your master's teachers and loved ones come through, and I match my crown to your crown, my forehead chakra to you, my third eye to you, my throat to you, my heart to you. And they kind of sync up. And then I am a oracle. So they come in and they scoop me out, me and my dazzling personality. They scoop me out. They put me at the end of like a football stadium, soccer stadium. And then your master's teachers and loved ones, one of them will come through and be the voice to have a conversation with you. So that's what's about to happen. It's fun and it's freaky.
Wow.
You never know who's coming in. So my love, I want you to think of, a question or two. This is a short little thing. A question or two that you would like to ask of them, and then they will bring forth this information. Okay. I am an unconscious channel. I'm not here. I'm wherever it is that I get deposited. Imagine a football stadium, and you're down on the stage, and I'm at the bleachers at the far, far other end of the room. And there's no microphone. So there's like, whispering. Someone came to me and they're like, "What did you mean when you said da da da?" And I'm like, "I never said that." And they're like, "Yes, you did when you were channeling." And I'm like, "That wasn't me. It wasn't me. Um, it wasn't me." Uh, it comes through my mouth, but what they do is they use my database and then they use my consciousness to shift and bring in one of your people. So let's see how this goes, okay? It's fun and oh no, I guess we lost Bryce. All right, bye, Bryce. Maybe another day. Okay. So there's usually a little yawning involved. Okay. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know Suzanne in the light of the Akashic records, to see Suzanne through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Suzanne have for her. Mm. The records are now open, beloved. We welcome you to our very presence. We have many conversations that we have with you uh, in the state that you would consider to be the sleeping of the physical body. And yet, this is when your soul allows you to journey to other dimensions. And we do a review of your day's activities, who it was that you spoke to, how it was that you interacted with them, the thoughts that you thought, the actions that you took, where you allowed yourself to express love, where it was that you found yourself stuck with certain emotions, where it is that you found yourself coming up short, and where it is that you excelled. Understand, beloveds, that this is an occurrence that happens when you allow yourselves to sleep. You come and you meet with your counsel, and they say, job well done. Ah, you may need a little more work here. Try better next time. And then you are once again lulled back into bodies, and you come upon waking, and you feel refreshed about this, or you have anxiety about that. But understand, dear ones, that all of this is done as part of your soul's evolution through consciousness. So we come to you today, beloved. You have been chosen to have this conscious conversation with us. And we would ask you, dear one, how is it that we may be of service to you? What is it that you desire to know?
What is God's next mission for me?
What a magnificent question. Beloved, there is a relationship that you have with a daughter that is very precious to you, that you are being asked to help this child to have a greater sense of herself, to have a greater understanding of her magic by you allowing yourself to be in full alignment with yours. The magic that lives and exists within you is ancient. It is something that you have not fully allowed yourself to come to full remembrance and recognition of. And you are being asked now, beloved, to bring forth your own gifts, to allow yourself to come into the time of remembrance of when it was easy for you to talk to people about the beings that you saw that surrounded them, the fairies, to help people to understand that there are substances that they can drink that are made from plants that will allow them to have more wellness. The places where you understand the song that exists upon the wind as it rustles through the leaves and even through the blades of grass, the place where there's a magic that you have kept inside of you that is meant to be brought forth and brought to what would be considered the next generation of souls. Would you understand this, beloved?
Definitely the next generation souls. Yeah, that rings very true.
You have been a teacher of old, and what is being asked for you from Source directly is for you to bring the wisdom that you have to this next generation.
Yeah.
It will become apparent to you what it is that you are meant to share. We have had many conversations with you on this topic, and now it is being brought to your consciousness. Beloved one, When you look upon a child, understand that all children belong to the light. All children belong to love. All children belong to God. And there is not one that is separate, whether it has come from your body or from the body of another. These are all your children. These are beings that are meant to be reminded of their magic as well. And this is what is being asked of you, to be their teacher, to become part of the community that teaches ancient wisdom, for it resides within you. You know the place where this is, and you are allowing yourself to bring it forth once again. For this, we say thank you. And we are your allies. We are your guidance in this, beloved. Does this sufficiently answer your query?
If I would say, my normal instinct would wonder, and how, in what
In what
capacity? Yeah,
form and capacity? Yes, yes, yes. So, beloved, you having been drawn here, allow yourself, when this beloved one comes out of this conversation, to have a conscious conversation with you of what it is that you are meant to do, and with whom it is that you are meant to do it, and how it is that you are going to accomplish this. For there is much that you can be directed to, there is much that you can be pointed to that will show you, that will, shall we say, remind you of what is to come for you. There are many others who are in alignment with what it is that you have promised when you came to this incarnation to do. You are here to awaken, you are here to teach, and you are here to train many souls. The time has come, beloved. Ask for the signs, ask to be pointed in the direction, and you certainly shall be. There is more conversation that will happen on this topic for you. You will have many more seeming meetings and coincidences where you are drawn to meet those with whom you shall walk this journey. Have no fear, beloved. We are working behind the scenes to make all this happen for you. It will become very apparent to you, beloved one. Is there more that you wish to know on this topic?
I'm not sure yet.
Breathe and know that all will be revealed. You need only bring the willingness. Beloved, we thank you for your open heart. We thank you for your open mind. Now allow us to continue to do what it is that we do, and we thank you in advance for your participation. More will be revealed, and you will come to understand. There will be a point where you will say, I remember this conversation. I remember it well. And you will understand. We ask you only to have faith.
Faith I have.
Indeed, you have it in plenitude, and for this we thank you. Continue to listen for direction, for it is coming. Greetings and salutations to you, precious one. And indeed, we shall speak with you again. This transmission is complete. Whew. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lords of the records for their point of view. I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, you are welcome. Hold on a second, let me get some water. Ah, they're lingering. Susan, how do you receive messages from guidance? Do you meditate regularly?
No, no. The big things somehow I it just I know it. It's like you hear. I could say hear, but like I hear the voice, and I listen to it. Like I think 11, 12 years ago, I knew because I heard go to Italy, go to the center of Italy, and spread awareness about high sensitivity and connect people over there. So I did. I changed my entire life and also my family. So we are actually now in the middle of Italy. So then I heard go bigger. So I did. I expanded in different directions. And lately I heard go back. So I didn't know what was go back to the country, go back to the where you started, and yeah, I take it very seriously.
So do I. It's awesome. That's awesome. Hmm. I was given a vision. There's a woman that I work with online. Her name is Melanie Ann Lair. She is one of my mentors, and I've been working with her for about 4 years now. And she recently had a program, and she said, I want you to write the story of your life, and I want you to write what's predictable for you. And then I want you to step outside, and I want you to write a vision of your life that's so big that it scares you. And I wrote this story. And after I wrote it down, I was like, there's no way I'm sharing this with anybody. And they're like, yes, you are. So I shared it with her. I shared it with a group of people. And it was about opening up. It's so funny because my friends that are helping me do this, they're like, this is bigger than any of us. Like, it feels like it's too big. So it's to open up these 7 schools, the Essene Egyptian mystery schools around the world, to bring people back to their divinity, to help them remember their not only their relationship with them, their higher self, but their relationship with God and what it is that they promised God that they were going to do when they came to earth. And Yeshua is saying, how did you find me? Let me just ask that before I say this next part. How did you find this? Was it through YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram? Do you remember?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. So they, the spiritual realm, they plant seeds, they plant people all over the place. Jesus, yeah, it's always Jesus. So he has a really profound relationship with you, and he brings you here, and then he has you be the one, there's like this resounding, it's supposed to be you, because he has plans for you. And your claircognizance is so clear, like that place where you just know things, and then you also have the ability to hear them. So your claircognizance and your clairaudience is really, really big. But beyond that, there are things that you know that they want you to bring forth, that they want you to teach. That's beyond, like it's bringing you to the next level. And I am being shown that you and I will be working together in some capacity. I don't randomly say that to people. You can ask Priyanka. She's been here through all of it. So, yeah, they're bringing in this whole new crowd of people, this whole new crowd of people that are going to be part of developing these centers around the world and teaching people how to connect to their soul's wisdom. And that's the my parent, welcome to the ship of lineages.
Yeah.
Merrily we stroll along, right? The my business is called Soma Life, but the teaching arm that I have right now is called Soul Mastery University. And people are really coming in to do the work of mastering their own souls for themselves, but then so that they can teach it. God, my head is still swirling. Like your guides are still here. They're very excited about you being here.
The message that came in the Akashic reading was that she is supposed to teach magic to the kids.
Wow. Wow.
And then she asked, how do I do that? And then they said, talk to Lynn, in what format and how it would be. So this is why we're here talking.
Aw, thank you for that. That makes sense. Okay, they're starting to lift off. Thank you for that, Priyanka. They wanted to make sure that that came through. So Suzanne, find me on Facebook. Are you in one of my groups? Are we friends on Facebook? Please forgive me if we are, because I have almost 5,000 friends.
Yeah, I requested. And since today, I'm also in the group.
Perfect. Okay. So I will reach out to you and we'll talk about what it is that they want you to do. Suzanne is Merlin. Oh, I love that. Do you have an affinity with Merlin?
And I'm not sure. No,
Merlin
I don't.
of King Arthur and the Round Table? The place of your
Yeah, not specifically, but I can understand why that is brought up. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. So there's more to be revealed. All right. I'm going to find you on Facebook and I'll start a chat with you and we can go from there. Nadia wrote me this gorgeous message this morning. And she said that I got to read what she wrote. Like it touched my heart so much. Hold on. Where is it? She said, "Hi, Lynn. It's Nadia. I'm sitting at my computer and your email just popped up. For some reason, before I even got to the first sentence, I got emotional. As I continued to read, I cried. Even though that is your story and not mine, what does that mean? You don't have to answer. I'm very eager to connect with you next week. We have some time coming up. Look, all I can tell you is Jesus is bringing all of us back together. And we all have these huge soul purposes. And we're meant to remind people of their relationship with God. And we're meant to wake them up and we're meant to teach them. And I have almost 35 certificates. This weekend, next weekend, I'll have 35 certificates where I have been trained and I have been taught. And I've been taught by Magdalene, and I've been taught by Yeshua, and I've been taught by Archangel Michael, and by Sanat Kumara, and by Hathor, and Lady Nada, and Venus, and Thoth. And they have awakened me. And I've done so much inner work that it makes room for me to receive what it is that they have to teach me. And then I, in turn, teach other people. And the wisdom and the knowledge that I have, it's a lot. It's so funny. I'm like, you see all those books? Those are 7 shelves of books that go all the way down to the floor, and I've read all of them. And then there's the shelf over here, and the shelf over there. And I'm like, guys, I can't do this by myself. And they're like, don't worry, help is on the way. So when people like Tess shows up, and people like you show up, Suzanne, and when people like Nadia show up and the others. There's so many. There's this incredible group. And we're all meant to journey together. We're all meant to bring back the old ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that wisdom, ancient wisdom lives inside of us. So, if you think you get emotional, holy crap. I had like 7 snot rags on the floor today of crying. And I do my guided meditation today. And Elijah, who's Yeshua's teacher, gave us instructions in class yesterday. And he said, go and talk to your ego and befriend your ego. And I went, and she just looked like this girl in rags, and she was all dark and dingy. And I said to her, hi. And she was just mad at me. And she's like, you never talk to me. You treat me like I'm the enemy. And what you don't understand is I'm your best friend. And I'm like, I am so sorry. And I started crying. And I said, what can I do? And she said, well, why don't you come and visit with me? And I said, do you have a name? And she said, yes, my name is Elizabeth. And I said, hi. And then I have this little girl and inside of me, and my younger aspect of myself, whose name is Meekle. And Meekle comes out and she's like, you're mean. You never talk to us. You never spend time with us. I'm like crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'll come and visit you every day. It was so emotional, for as much work as I've done and as much as I've learned, like every single day, there's the next step for me to take. She's like, I want to ascend as well. And I was like, the ego ascends? And she's like, of course, all aspects of us ascend. And it was just beautiful. So I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly growing. And then I take everything that I've learned and I turn around and I teach that. And that's my life's mission and purpose, and maybe you're a part of that. Maybe that's why you were drawn here today. I mean, sometimes we've got 20 people in here, but today we have this small, intimate, group. So there's a reason, you know. Tess, where were you born?
Oh, I was born in Ethiopia, in the North Ethiopia called Tigray.
Okay. So we've got Ethiopia represented. We've got India represented. My family is from Guyana in South America. Suzanne's living in Italy. Suzanne, where were you born?
Netherlands.
You were born in the Netherlands. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Nadia, where were you born?
Newark, New Jersey.
Go New Jersey. I was born in New York. But like we're representing all parts of the world. I did Ancestry.com a few years ago. I spit in a tube. I'm like, oh, I'm 13% Black and I'm 38% Jewish. Mom and Dad, you better spit in a tube because we got to get to the bottom of this, My father's like, it's not me. Yeah, well, all of a sudden listen, you can't just represent Africa, mister, because I got cousins in Tonga and the Ivory Coast and Benin and, people in Sierra Leone. And I'm like, what the Dad? And he's like, I go, Dad, you're 27% Black. And he's like, what? No, I'm not. I'm Amerindian. I'm like, they lied to you. They told you you're Amerindian. You're not. I'm like, Mom, you're really, really Jewish. She goes, well, there was a story in the family. I'm like, Mom, your maiden name is Weil. Like, you go all the way back to the 1400s in Germany. Like, I'm like freaking Sammy Davis Jr. Like, I'm like Black, I'm Jewish, like all this stuff. Like none of it matters. But we are this amalgamation of everything, all of it brought together. And all we're supposed to do is see Jesus, see through his eyes, see and love everybody in that way. With his heart, love ourselves and love everybody in that way. And he's like, we're gathering the forces. So, everyone that's here right now, the 5 of us, we have Essene aspects to us. We're ancient. We thrived in Atlantis. We were there when the civilization got wiped out. We were Essenes and we walked with Jesus. Like nobody comes into my frequency and they weren't there. So we all have that in us. And if you stand still long enough, I will teach you how to read the Akashic records so that you can remember everything that we've been programmed to forget. That's what my journey and that's what my life is all about. So Suzanne, you may be a part of that, you know? You've been trying not to look into the records. No,
I've been
baby.
trying and I'm not getting anything. That's why when you said what you said earlier, I was like, oh, my clears must be blocked because this is ridiculous.
Yeah. They are. They are. But, you know, the good news is help is on the way because I got the tools. I created this process called clearing the clairs. I literally teach you how to measure them, how to go in, how to clear them. And then all of a sudden you're like, so I have this one student and she was blocked. She was blocked. And now she's like, and I just met with the Galactic Council of Light and I had these beings come to me and they're doing work in my house. And I'm like, what? What? She's like, Lynn, you created a monster. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll help you open those doors, baby. That's my, and you know, Bianca's like been watching all this over the years. It's a bit freaky, isn't it, babe? Freaky as fuck. Like look, all I can say is I channel Jesus. My mother's like, what? I'm like, Mom, it's okay. I channel Jesus. I curse a little, and I have a heart that's at least as big as my ass, and that's huge. I'm telling you. And when I found out I was black, I was like, oh, thank God! It explains so many things, so many things. Like I was thrilled. I was thrilled. So I reached out to my grandmother who's on the other side. I'm like, Grandma, what the hell? So I find this picture of my great grandmother, who's this gorgeous black woman. And I reach out to my great grandmother and I'm like, why did you guys lie about that? They said we were trying to protect ourselves, you know? So I forgave it all. The truth always gets revealed. Like you just can't help yourself. Anyway, it's 2:22. I've kept you all long enough. I thank you so much for being here. Suzanne, let's connect. Lydia, I can't wait. So listen, I literally spoke your name correctly. Fucking Siri misspelled it. So that bitch gets in trouble, not me. I was like, God damn it. I didn't correct this. So I know how to pronounce your name. She is a fucking shit show. Can I tell you how many times Siri has fucked me over by the things that she's typed, like the things that I say, and then I'm like, Siri, what the hell? What the hell? Anyway, all right, Suzanne, hold on. Let me find you before.
Before we go, do you want to talk about the Mary Magdalene membership?
Oh my God. Yes. So Mary Magdalene and I wrote a book together back in 2021. She and Jesus came to me and they said, will you spend a year with Magdalene going through the 365 lessons of A Course in Miracles? And like it was an appointment it was a promise that I had made to God. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So I channeled her every day. They came to me at the end of 2020. I channeled her literally every day at the beginning of 2021, 365 lessons. I would read the lesson from the book. I would go into trance. She would bring forth her gorgeous wisdom. And then we wrote a book together. It's called A Year of Love, Mary Magdalene's Divine Feminine Wisdom on the Course in Miracles. Because she was the wife of Yeshua, right? And oh, sorry, someone's trying to call me from Alva. No, Tess, there's another option other than PayPal. You can actually put a card in. Anyway, it's $26 a month. She and I are coming through every single week. I'm going to read the lesson from the book. I'm going to channel her. We started on Wednesday. I channel her. Um, she does a Q&A. So if you bring the question to her, she's like going for it with these answers. And then she leads us in a guided meditation. So that's going to be a beautiful journey, that little membership. And there'll be other stuff that's going to come. We're going to offer special things. There are some people that have asked for like autograph copies of the book. So we'll make a special offer for that. The book is on sale in Amazon right now. USA. Hold on. I'm trying to do two things at once and it's not going so well. Suzanne, what name are you on Facebook?
My maiden name.
Which is?
Shall I type it here again?
Yeah. There's a lot of Suzannes in here. Oh, it is only PayPal? Priyanka, can we add Stripe?
Yeah, I'll go into Samcart and add Stripe, and
Yeah.
then it'll give us that
And,
option.
and Tess, you can put your Visa into PayPal to be able to use PayPal. Did you know that?
No, I don't have PayPal.
No. You go to PayPal and you sign up, and then oh, there you are. You go to PayPal, and I love how red your hair is. You go to PayPal and you sign up, and then you put your credit card in there, and then you can use your PayPal, and it charges your credit card. It does everything for you. So that's just gonna. This is a beautiful picture of you, and I love the picture behind it. I love how it matches your hair.
Yeah,
Right. I'm
that's
gonna
also
say
right.
hello.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So a couple things. The 3-month class that I teach is going to start in September. Also in September, we're starting a year-long curriculum. And we just had a sale where this thing is hugely on sale. When Yeshua came through, it's going to be 18 classes that are taught over a year. It's going to be 35 tools and techniques for transformation. The first class that we teach that's called Transformational Alchemy. So it's called the Transformational Alchemy Mastermind, and it's going to be a rolling program. So people will be coming in all throughout the year. But there's going to be 4 people that are going to be mentoring with me because we have like 28 people signed up already. It's going to be huge. So the cost of the program is $33,333. But Kat and I were doing the special for my 7-year anniversary, and she's like, "Why don't I make the price $27.77?" And I go, "Okay," because it's normally $3,333 a month. But she types 1,777. So this girl comes to me and she goes, "Okay, I want to do the program." And what I do is I say to people, "Look, I'll also take off whatever it is that you've paid." So she goes, 1,777 is so much a month. And then if you take off what I've paid, and it's like she's paying a very, very small amount. So I will negotiate with you. If you want to come do this program, Jesus is like, let people pay whatever they can pay. And I'm going to let people pay whatever they can pay. You know, he takes care of me in so many other ways. I'm like, why did you make this thing so expensive? And he said, so people will feel like they're getting a really good deal. Like, okay, but you make me look like this, you know, it's all good. I can't have an ego when I come around him. He's like, knock it off. He's very funny. He's very sarcastic, very playful. So that's another way that you can work with us, work with me and everybody else. So there's the class, the quantum healing class, or sorry, the transformational alchemy class. It's coming in September. It's a 3-month class, and it's the first class that's going to be taught. And then as I come up with things during the year, you get included in all that. And the mastermind is also a part of that. So, you know, everything, like nobody gets left out of anything is basically what Jesus has said. And I'm like, okay. So I'm a yes to all of it. So there are a lot of ways. So we have another special that's coming for the solstice, the Lionsgate 8/8, and we'll have a whole bunch of um, more sales and opportunities. You know, we play with the number 7, we play with the number 8, we play with the number 5, you know, whatever it is. But I love having these sales for people, and people that are smart take advantage of it. People like Nadia, you take advantage of it. They're very smart. So anyway, that's all about that. Yeah. So there's Magdalene, there's a class. The retreat is sold out, but we're going to be doing another one. We're going to be going to Mount Shasta. We're going to be going to Hawaii. We're going to go to the south of France, and there's somewhere else that we're going to be going. Hawaii, Mount Shasta, south of France next year, and I forget where the other place is. We cannot go to Israel right now. The U.S. government told everybody in Israel, get out. So we can't go there right now. But yeah, exactly, Tess. You know, Yeshua makes it generous for everybody. Okay, let's see what else. Priyanka, did I forget anything, babe? I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love you all. I look forward to connecting with you in whatever ways that happens. And I just thank you for coming here. I thank you for your open heart. And I look forward to whatever. Oh, it's all done in the name of love. It's all done in the name of Jesus and, you know, the other ascended masters, the Sanat Kumaras of the world and the Ashtars of the Ashtar Command and Lady Nada, you know, Mother Mary. My past life memories were of being one of the sisters of Yeshua. And I remember so cute. I said to him one time, you know, you were my favorite. And he goes, you were my favorite. I said, you say that to everybody. And he goes, yeah, but I meant it when I was saying it about you. Like he's playful. He's just funny, you know? It's very cute. Anyway. All right, my darlings. Shabbat shalom. Blessings. And I love you and I'll see you really soon.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Bye, my darlings. Bye, Priyanka. And I'm so glad your son is feeling better.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye, Ted. And Suzanne, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.